All right.
District. He'll be giving a brief statement followed by about 10
Oh, come on.
for questions and answers. Thank you so much again. Let me please introduce Captain Frederick.
Speak it. Speak up. Like you got a pair.
I'm up here.
But I'm not there. I would have said that. Oh.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Captain Jamie Frederick with the 1st Coast Guard District, and I'll provide an update on our ongoing search efforts for the Titan submarine. Behind me, or beside me, I should say, you'll see several subject matter experts from the Unified Command who will introduce themselves momentarily. These individuals represent only a small fraction of the many dedicated professionals working around the clock on this complex response effort. We understand this is an extremely difficult time for the families of the missing crew members aboard the Titan, and our thoughts go out to them and the crew. The Unified Command team is working tirelessly to all available assets and expertise to bear as quickly as possible in response to this complex operation. We remain in close contact with the family members and the crew to ensure they are fully aware of our current and future search efforts. Additionally, we have been in close contact with the British and French consulates general to ensure that they are fully appraised of our efforts, and we are ensuring that their concerns are being addressed. We're incredibly grateful for the full spectrum of international assistance that has been provided, including an expert submariner from the Royal Navy, who's here with us serving aboard as a critical member of our team. Additionally, a team of highly trained French ROV operators departed St. John's last night are en route to aid the search. Moreover, our Canadian partners have been providing critical leadership and significant response capabilities since the beginning of our efforts. Again, this is an incredibly complex search operation requiring both surface and subsurface elements, and our unified approach is critical. The location of the search, 900 miles east of Cape Cod and 400 miles southeast of St. John's, makes it exceptionally difficult to mobilize large amounts of equipment quickly. In spite of those challenges, we've been able to provide continuous air and surface search assets, as well as additional ROV capability to search below the surface. We currently have 5 surface assets searching for the Titan, and we expect 10 total surface assets to search in the next 24 to 48 hours. There are 2 ROVs actively searching, and several more are en route and will arrive by tomorrow morning. We've received incredible support with aviation assets from our Coast Guard Air Station in Elizabeth City, the Air National Guard, and Canadian Armed Forces. Today there are 2 back-to-back P3 flights. One is ongoing now as I speak, totaling 14 hours of continuous on-scene coverage, and 2 C-130 flights, also one ongoing now throughout the day and into the evening. Yesterday, a Canadian P3 detected underwater noises in the search area. As a result, ROV operations were relocated in an attempt to explore the origin of the noises. Although the ROV searches have yielded negative results, they continue. Additionally, the data from the P3 aircraft has been shared with our U.S. Navy experts for further analysis, which will be considered in future search plans. The surface search is now approximately 2 times the size of Connecticut, and the subsurface search is up to 2.5 miles deep.
Holy crap.
Exponentially expanding the size of the search area. We also have to factor in the ever-changing weather conditions, currents, and sea states that expand the search area every hour. There is an enormous complexity associated with this case due to the location being so far offshore, and the coordination between multiple agencies and nations. We greatly appreciate the outpouring of support and offers to provide additional equipment. The Unified Command continues to prioritize assets and resources in order to provide the best capability in the most timely manner. This includes weighing multiple factors to identify the most effective resources available to the response operation, with careful consideration to timeliness of equipment arriving on scene, usefulness and ability to deliver assets to the search area. Over the past 48 hours, we have, through incredible unity of effort, mobilized and implemented a tremendous amount of expertise and response capability. In addition to the ships and aircraft previously mentioned, We've dispatched 2 subject matter experts from U.S. Navy NAVSEA Subsalv, who will serve as search coordinators on scene for underwater search operations. So I've been stressing unity of effort a lot in this statement, and that's because it is absolutely critical to this complex operation. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with the crew of the Titan and their loved ones. We will continue to work as hard and as quickly as possible in an effort to locate them. I will take a few questions, but before I do that, I do want I'm going to have each of the members of the team here just introduce themselves, and then I'll go ahead and take some questions.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Hankins. I'm the Director for Salvage Operations with the U.S. Navy's Supervisor of Salvage.
Hello, I'm Carl Hartsfield from the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Commander Rich Cantharia. I'm an exchange officer currently serving on the staff of Commander Submarines Atlantic at Norfolk, Virginia.
No way. He's not British.
Good afternoon, Lieutenant Commander Christy Butler, working closely with Captain Frederick from RCC Boston, Search and Rescue Mission Coordinator. Thank you.
Yes.
So a couple things. One, I think when you're in the middle of a search and rescue case, you always have hope. That's why we're doing what we do. With respect to the noises specifically, we don't know what they are, to be frank with you. The P3 detected noises. That's why they're up there. That's why they're doing what they're doing. That's why they put sonar buoys in the water. The good news is, what I can tell you is we're searching in the area where the noises were detected, and we'll continue.
Uh-oh. My internet sucks. Looks like some more vessels have joined. This was about 2 hours ago, where I'm a little behind. It looks like there was some banging sounds found in the remote North Atlantic, which sparked some hope that there were still
And we hope
survivors.
That when we're able to get additional ROVs, which will be there in the morning, the intent will be to continue to search.
The craft's oxygen was still stable, hopefully. It's still in a search and rescue mission, 100%. Basically, they need as many vessels and assets as possible. I think they just added some more, and they recorded the sounds to maybe get a closer feel for what it is and where that sound was. Hopefully they can find these people, and I know that oxygen is going to become an issue if it hasn't already. They're looking at a size two times the size of Connecticut and about a half-mile deep. That is why I respect this Coast Guard and any type of rescue in water, because holy crap, that's a whole nother beast when you start adding water in the mix. We're talking oxygen, pressure. It's a totally different environment. Why were these people doing this? It's crazy. It's a 21-foot vessel, descended to 13,000 feet, and it went to the bottom of the ocean on its tour of the Titanic wreckage. Oh, that's why they went down there. Who's that director? Cameron? Man. What, Avatar wasn't good enough? 38 minutes. Let's see. The banging on Tuesday first came every 30 minutes and was heard again 4 hours later. Man. They were detected by a P3 aircraft from Canada. So you guys are worth something, aren't you? And, let's see. Acoustic feedback. Man. You ever watch Perfect Storm? They jump in that water. Those are 70-foot waves. And that, I mean, these guys have a tough job. Whew. It says that the longer this lasts, you know, it becomes more dangerous because they're going to run out of oxygen. So they're really out analyzing that data from the sound bank, and they're trying to get a better read on it. The vehicle was operated by Ocean Gate Expeditions, carrying a pilot, 3 wealthy adventurers, and the company's CEO when it lost contact with its mothership about 1 hour and 45 minutes into its dive. The trip was part of a trip to see the Titanic wreckage, prices starting at $250,000 yen, and I'm sorry, dollars, and archived versions to its website shows that. I got another thing here. Wealthy adventurers, man. Space flight of Blue Origin. The rise of guided tours to Mount Everest, and reflects the ongoing fascination with the Titanic more than a century after it sank, killing more than 1,500 people. At least 2 former Ocean Gate employees who expressed safety concerns about the vessel's hull years ago, including the thickness of the material used and testing procedures. They didn't have a good read on that, I guess. The 23,000-pound craft is made of lightly engineered carbon fiber and titanium. The central focus now is the massive search. What I don't get is, okay, so it lost its mothership. If its mothership just basically stayed in place, wouldn't that be about where this thing is? So why aren't they down there now already? Like, I mean, it's not like, I mean, they could have drifted, obviously, but I mean, I think by now we have Titanic documented on a map, right? Hey, just go there first. Don't need to go the size of Connecticut, 2 times the size of Connecticut. That's kind of dumb. So they're looking for an underwater robot. France, England, Canada, and a couple others are helping us out. Now recovering that vessel is going to be difficult, even if they find it, and then taking it apart to get the people out would be another difficulty. So that's going to add on to a lot of problems. I do hope they make it. If something comes out, I'm going to try to get it out as quick as possible, because this stuff's pretty wild. I mean, this is live drama. I mean, you got to hope these guys get rescued before all this stuff can go bad. Let's see. They're using scanning sonars. I wonder how the weather is out there. I didn't check that. So, a British businessman, and his name was Hamish Harding, Pakistani billionaire Shahzada Dawood, and his son Suleiman Dawood, and French diver Paul Henry Nargiolet, according to relatives and social media posts. Officials have not publicly named all of those aboard, so don't take that as absolute. Let's see. Sounds, it can be an indication the hull of the vessel is intact at the time of the sounds. That would be good. Subject matter experts are on the job. You got to think about things like hypothermia, running low on oxygen, and the high pressure are going to be difficulties. I can't imagine we can't get this thing up quick. I think the hardest part right now is finding it, which just go where the boat is. But yeah, hopefully, I I wonder how much contact, if they have any, in terms of if they have a system at all that can talk up to the surface. I don't know. We could talk from the moon. I don't know if we can talk from under the water though. So let's see what the rest of this guy has to say. I think
those areas where the noises were detected, if they're continuing to be detected, and then put additional ROVs down in the last known position where the search was originally taking place.
Yeah,
I hadn't heard 30-minute intervals. So here's what I can tell you. I am not a trained ear for underwater aquatics. That's why we have a team of experts that are analyzing that data. That data was sent immediately to the Navy last night, and it was analyzed overnight. They're still looking at it, but I can tell you that it's inconclusive. But again, I think the important piece is we're searching in the area where the noises were detected.
Captain, can you talk about a timeline? Can you talk about what timeline you're working on in conjunction with the teams that are there?
It's a timeline in what respect?
How much oxygen they have left on?
Oh, okay. Well, in terms of, so we talked about the oxygen number. I think you're all tracking the oxygen number. I think there's an important point with that, though. The oxygen, that's just one piece of data, right? There are a lot of pieces of data that we need to consider. And, we're continuously looking at that, and we'll continuously, do that throughout the search. But that's not the only thing that's important, right? And right now, our efforts are solely focused on the search. That certainly is a dialogue that's happening, but we're focused on searching at this point.
This is a recovery or a rescue?
Oh, this is a search and rescue mission, 100%. We are smack dab in the middle of search and rescue, and we'll continue to put every available asset that we have in an effort to find the Titan and the crew members.
Captain,
So a couple things. So the ROVs, each ROV brings different capability. The ROVs that are diving today, what's the depth on the
4,000.
Yeah, 4,000 meters. And some additional ROVs that'll be arriving tomorrow have additional depth capability. With respect to an object, so yesterday one of the aircraft did see an object. I will tell you this: in search and rescue missions, when aircraft are flying continuously, there is stuff out in the ocean that's floating. We went back, we looked at it. It wasn't. We didn't determine it to be debris. We don't think it correlates with the case, and it is not uncommon at all during an active search to see things, and then we go and look at them. So.
I can't hear the questions. What are they saying? Stupid.
Yeah, so so several P3 flights have heard the noises as yesterday, and we put assets there. We relocated assets immediately. With respect to food and water, it's my understanding there are some limited rations. I can't tell you exactly how much they have aboard, but they do have some limited rations aboard the vessel. Listen, I think you need to be careful. We need to have hope, right? But I can't tell you what the noises are. But what I can tell you is, and I think this is the most important point, we're searching where the noises are, and that's all we can do at this point. So I just wanted to. So it was my understanding that the P3 had heard some noises today as well. But so I do want to take just an opportunity to invite Carl to the podium just to talk a little bit about. He has a little bit more expertise in underwater acoustics, and maybe just to speak to that in general, because again, there are noises below the surface of the ocean, so I'll just turn it to Carl.
Carl, can you spell your name? Yes, Carl Hartsfield. So again, Carl Hartsfield from the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. So the ocean is a very complex place. Obviously, human sounds, nature sounds, and it's very difficult to discern what the source of those noises are at times. But I can tell you that this team has multiple sensors. They're in the area. They're sending data back expeditiously to the best in the world people to analyze that data, and then they're feeding the results of that analysis back to the unified team, and they're making decisions. So Woods Hole is here in an advisory role, but by our expertise, what I see is a very tight operational loop that's making decisions based on data, and nothing is ruled out. There have been multiple reports of noises, and every one of those noises is being analyzed, tracked, looked for patterns, and reported upon.
Can you describe what the noise? Can you describe what the noise sounds like that they're hearing?
Well, you know, the noises, again, very complex in the ocean. You have to be an acoustic analysis, and you have to have context. They're trying to put all the pieces together. The noises have been described as banging noises. But again, they have to put the whole picture together in context, and they have to eliminate potential man-made sources other than the Titan.
I wonder if maybe you put too
is
many
it possible
boats
that a
or
ship
stuff
in the
out there,
ocean
then you have
is
too
it
much
possible
noise,
a ship
right?
in the ocean or even
hear.
some mammals out there could mimic that kind of sound?
So I can tell you from my experience with acoustics that there are sounds by biologics that sound man-made to the untrained ear, but I can assure you that the people listening to these tapes are trained. There are a lot of vessels in the area, and they each make noise, right? So all of that has to be eliminated, and it's analysis over time. Plus, as the captain said, the team is searching in the right area. So if you continue to do the analysis, look for different patterns, and search in the right area, you're doing the best you possibly can do with the best people on the case.
And Captain, apparently the deep ocean salvage system, that byway that was sent there to the location. Can you tell us if it's on site yet, and how it operates, and how long it would take the rest of it to get to
Which system is he speaking about? You know the system. What's the system that you're talking about?
Byway deep ocean salvage system.
That's just a hydraulic.
Yeah.
A crane.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. So that's a piece of equipment. It's a crane piece of equipment. There are a lot of pieces of equipment flowing in through St. John's right now. One thing I did want to mention, I think it's important. Some of the ROV capability that's arriving soon is really great, incredible capability. One thing I want to point.
I'm going to jump around here. I want to. What is the latest on this? Survivor of deepest sea rescue in history. Wow, this guy was rescued, huh? Way back in the day. Banging sounds heard. That's 15 hours ago. 2 hours ago. That might be a good one to look at, but I don't really know. Daily Mail. Oh, that's it. That's what it looks like, I guess. I mean, that looks kind of uncomfortable. I don't know. That would kind of stink. What else? I don't like scrolling because who knows what's going to pop up. But let's go to one of these. It's live. You know, it's good that they have a bunch of different assets. They're sending a bunch of different, like, there's different countries involved. You know, let's get these guys out of there, hopefully. All right. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to play for me. So that's the end of this one. I'll update you when I can. I guess my internet really sucks. So there it is. Streaming live coverage. To resume. Okay. I'll be back later. Better be ready then. Got it.